I'm live. Hello, hello! We're back with yet another project. Is it a new project though? Not really. For you see, we're still continuing with the issue tracker, and I've decided to task myself with completing all of the remaining projects by the 200th day. I just thought it would be fitting considering we completed one of our previous milestones on the 100th day. So I just feel that would be a really nice target, even though I probably should have started this a little bit sooner, because there are only 4 days left. We're on day 196 today. But if I can get it done, I think that would be really cool. So on day 200, to complete the anonymous message board and to, you know, basically complete our full stacks session on this, that would be really cool. I think we could do it if I just push myself, because I know I tend to focus heavily on just perfecting the project that I'm working on, and I spend a little bit too much time than I should be working on things that are non-issues, because I know a lot of people have told me rather fix things, you know, when there's something wrong, when someone notices something wrong with it, you know, whereas I tend to try to find everything that can possibly go wrong and then try to fix the problem, and I think that's what heavily slows me down. So rather fix things if the need arises, it would seem. Maybe if it's a personal project of my own, I can, you know, apply the polish that I want. But since these are just part of the study program, I think I'll just try to get through it as fast as I can. And that's what we're going to do today. Literally, all that we need to do is get a few of these things running and get the tests passing. So let's see. Okay, let's see where we are. Let's see what we need to get done. I think I'm gonna work from the requirements first. So let's see where we pass and where we fail. I'll prevent cross-site scripting, done. I can post API issues project name with form data. And here was the issue. Expected object, ID, issue title. To have a property issue title. Ah, I see. So I think it's because of the return value that we're sharing. I can post with form data containing required and optional assigned to and status. So the return is what the issue is right now. So let's go check at that return value. When you post, I'm basically creating my own versions because I didn't like there was issue underscore title, so I made it issue title. So essentially what it's trying to do is just I mean, I could technically just do this and save myself a bit of time. I think this is what it wants us to do. Was there an assigned to? Oh, there was. And created by... I wonder if they created on and they updated on. Let's see what we'll get now. Scan the API. Try it again. Expected object ID issue title to have property assigned to. Don't we have assigned to? Oh, we do. We should see what we're returning. Oh, is this what we're returning? 'Cause it looks like it. Was it this though? I thought we updated, didn't we update the API? That was the wrong one. I wonder why the save response is like that. Issue title. Oh, because save response is response. I want to see what the data is. Because we're giving it data. So there's the save data. Issue title. And it was saying that it needed assigned to. Oh, assigned to is undefined. Wait, no, that's status text. It said assigned to. Assigned to is also undefined. I wonder if that's the reason why. But it's also not being created. I mean, it creates it under FCC tester, but it wasn't assigned to anyone. So I wonder if that's the reason.
Inquis1T0R is following the family.
Inquisitor, hey, how are you doing? Okay, so we're assigned to undefined. That's because assigned to was never set a value. I'm also going to set these to be more... There we go. You asked for it, so here I am. Mary here, just stopping by and letting know you're awesome. Keep it up. Hey Mary. Thank you. That's really sweet of you. Have you not managed to have a nap yet? Okay, let me see. Under API, when we're posting, we should just be returning the entire document as is. So that's the issue, we save it, then we get a response, right? We should literally just be returning the response as is. We don't need to be creating this entire data object, because everything that we need, if it was saved, will be in the response. So technically what we need to do is just say, hey, the status of this is fine, it's a 200, and in JSON format, we return the response. So that'll be one part. So let's just go ahead and update the API. No nap, found out I'm very much a klutzy person. Nipped my finger with my razor. How did you manage that? Okay, yeah, I don't know if I should be asking. I'm fine though, no worries. Just spending time with my mom. Dyeing my hair shortly. That's really cool. What color are you going?
Patsmith is following the family.
Patsmith? Thank you so much for that follow, I really appreciate it. How are you guys doing today? It's like a lazy Sunday. I have a goal, I have a deadline, guys.
Your Blackheart so is following the family.
Thank you. Yeah, so like I was saying, I got a deadline. I'm on day 196, so that means for 196 consecutive days we have not stopped programming. And my goal is on the 200th day, to commemorate it all, I want to be done with these projects. So we completed the metric imperial converter, we're currently doing the issue tracker, we got 3 more projects. I'm a little worried about the last one because the anonymous message board is going to be massive. You need to be able to create boards, you need to be able to create responses under those boards. So it's like children of parents, and we basically have 4 days. I have 4 days to complete 4 projects. It's technically not impossible, but I know it's going to probably put a lot of stress on me. But I feel it could be worth it. Just, you know, working under that pressure. And if we get it done, that means that we can completely finish this entire section. So everything that we've done for these past 200 days will come to an end. And I think that'll be really cool. It's a nice round number. I like those things. It's kind of symbolic. On the 100th day, we completed, I think it was, we got to data visualization. So in 100 days, we did all of these sections. So by the 200th day, we not only finish the information security and quality assurance, we also get the full stacks certificate. So that means, yeah, 2 birds, 1 stone kind of thing. 200 days. So that's my goal. I think we can do it if I just like throw myself into it. And yeah, you guys keep me sane. Just hearing the random stuff that you guys get up to. It's good. I need that distraction. Otherwise, I'm going to stare at this code the whole time and go crazy. And then question, did I do this? Did I update this? Speaking of the API, let's give that a try. Okay, let's run these tests again and see how far we get. So, returning the data as is, expected object to have a property issue title. Okay, so now I know what the issue is, and that's because the returned object is... Wait, is this the returned object? Let me just run it again one more time. Right. Wait, that's this. Oh, right, that's a save response. Okay, so the save response is incorrect. Alright, so let's just go and change that up real quick. Staying with black, of course, silly. So you're just gonna re-dye your hair black? That's cool. Pictures or it didn't happen, what? Keep up doing great things. I'll talk to you later. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Good luck with that. Try not to, you know, get yourself hurt again. And have fun with your mom. Send my regards. It's adorable. Love to spend some more time. Alright, I'll chat to you later. Have an awesome one. Thanks for dropping by again. I really appreciate it. Okay, so when we're posting, we're gonna get all the variables from the post request. And let's also make sure that the scheme that we're gonna use, the schema is going to be based on that. Because I think that's going to like help us immensely. Yeah, so where's our body? Where's our body request? There it is. So in our post request here, we have issue title, issue text created by, assigned to, status text, and we're gonna get that from request.body. And then instead of remapping them, I'm gonna do this quick. Instead of remapping them, we're just gonna take them as is. That was kind of like the OCD in me didn't like the fact that we have underscores in JavaScript variables. But the way that this is being tested is exactly on the variable names, which is a bit silly, but I'm not gonna argue with it. So what the tests are expecting is literally issue underscore title as the variable name. So we're just gonna leave it as that. We're not gonna fight the system. We're just gonna leave it. So that's the original variable names, and we're getting that from request.body. And then when we create the new issue, we're obviously just going to use those variables. So issue title then becomes that, issue text becomes that, created by will become that, assigned to will become that, and then yeah, status text is the last one, and then let's just create it on becomes created on, updated on becomes that. There we go. So that will then be in the format that it's expecting it. I mean, look, even my linter is complaining. Issue title is not in camel case. Like, I know. What am I supposed to do? so there's a way for us to do that. We can do that by simply... Hold on, come here. Ah, come here, quick fix. No! There. There. So we just copy that rule just for this project, because that's going to be an issue and our linter is going to complain. So in our ESLint file, we just set I think it's disable. I'm not sure if it's ESLint. I think that's the rule name. And we set that to 0. I might be wrong. But let's just see. If it worked, then those errors should go away. What might just be disable camel case. Well, actually, let's just Google the rule real quick. So it's ESLint camel case. Or we could just ignore destructuring, because that's the only place that we're using it in, apparently. So, yeah, let's have it on ignore destructuring. Would that work? The rule title? What's the rule name? The properties always ignore destructuring false, allow. So it's basically this ESLint camel case. And then if we come here, ESLint camel case, there it is. Is this destruction? Yeah, we are. So we are using destructuring from requested body. Ignore destructuring is set to true. So that should have been fine. Let's just reload our VS quickly. ESLint camel case. I wonder if it's because there's a hyphen here. Should I just do ESLint camel case like that and see if... Oh, wait, did that change it? Because it doesn't tell you what the rule name is. It just says camel case. Maybe it's just camel case. Let's just try just camel case. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. And then if I change ignore destruction to false, there you go, we get an error. And then if I change it to true, error's gone. Cool, perfect, we figured it out. So it's literally just called camel case. Error except for destructuring, which is fine. Perfect. We solved the linter issue. And then we have a new issue, and then it's going to complain that it's not in camel case, but we do have another rule that we can allow, which is, was it properties? So we can allow properties, I guess, because that's where we use it. Yeah, so let's allow properties as well. So under here we have ignore destructuring true, properties always. So then, oh, that is a property though. Or is it never? I'm not sure what it, okay, it's never. So always means it expects it to be in camel case. Never means it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be. So for properties, so perfect. Now properties don't have an issue either. Finally, okay, so our issue is fine. We save it and then we return the entire object. Let's see if that makes a difference in our tests. Okay. Expected object ID project to have a property issue title. So what does it have now? I see it's undefined. So everything is undefined. Interesting. Why would that be? So what was response? Response was... issue title was empty. We create the new issue, yeah, we've done that. We took these from a request that, you know what it could be? It could be that these variables don't exist in the body. So let's see what's in the body and what's in the query. So the query has nothing. There's the body, issue title, issue text, created by. Okay, so it's in the body, but the query is empty, but we're not using the query, so that's fine. So there's the save response. Oh, okay, I'm looking at the save data. Never mind. The save data we don't care about because that was data. We're not using data anymore. Okay, let's update that. Cool. Let's run it again. Okay, save response, project FCC open true, the issue undefined has been added. And you know what I want to do as well? I want to log what the issue is. So that I can see what's going on there. So the issue... Okay, yeah, so that's weird. It only has ID, project, and open. It doesn't have anything else. Where's issue text? Where's created by? That's so interesting. Because the body has issue text and created by, yet the issue completely ignores that. Interesting. The issue text, and who else? The created. Let's do created underscore by. So I want to make sure that it is logging these correctly before I try to troubleshoot where the issue resides. Okay, so the issue is text1, the create is FCC tester. Okay, so it is seeing the variable. For some reason it's not saving it to the issue. So let's figure out why. So we know the variable is here, that's fine. Then the issue is creating a new issue. Project, issue title, issue text, okay. Which it has. And then you try to log the issue. Interesting, why? Issue title should be available immediately. And that's the first thing we do. Yeah, it is. And then we create a new object. Project, issue title, issue text. And then we're saying save. And if there was an error, we would have gotten it here. What I want to just know is, why is response... Like, let's run it again. Why is response omitting all that stuff? Like, there's ID, it saves it. There's project, it saves it. It sets open to true. But what about everything else? It's so strange. Oh, because I didn't change the schema. Oh. Because it's expecting it to be under issue title. And it doesn't exist, that's why. Okay, we gotta change our schema, which is annoying. But it's fine. There we go. Okay, so now that our schema is changed, we should see that data. There you go. Project, issue title, issue text, created on, updated on, created by, open. Okay, now that everything's working fine, we just have to make sure that the response is fine, because it keeps complaining about wanting a property assigned to. But now the issue I have here is that they didn't specify someone to assign it to. They said created by. Maybe the created by should be the assigned to? What are the requirements? The object saved and returned will include all of those fields, blank for optional, no input, and also include created on, updated. Could it just be the blank? Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what we need. Blank for optional, no input. Okay, so the optionals are assigned to in status text. Title, text, and created by are required. Should we do something like type string required? So something like that. So issue title is also required, issue text is required. Created on, we already have those. Created by is optional, I think. Let me just double check. I think it's optional. No. Title, text, and created by are all required. The only optionals are assigned to in status text. So assigned to is optional. So we set default to be an empty string. And then open is a boolean. And we already have open set to true by default. So we can either set the defaults. Yeah, I think we should, otherwise it's undefined, huh? And then status text can be default, just an empty string. We could do the same for type boolean, default true, yeah. Created on, updated on, we already have those set. So I think that's all we need for our schema, so that when you create it now, you're gonna get assigned to return blank, because I think that's what it's looking for. I think that's why this is failing. So let's just check. There you go, we passed it. Hey, because then, let's see, that's a response. Assigned to is then blank. Open is true, status text. I just don't like the fact that assigned to, open, and status text are all above the IDs and that. They should be in the right order, and I think the reason for that is I'm not going to worry about it. We already know. JSON is notorious for it doesn't keep the order. If we used arrays, it would be. So it's fine. We passed the test. That's all that matters there. Great. Move on to the next thing. Posting data without required fields will fail. Yeah, this one seems to get us stuck for some reason. We got some errors here. That's why. Path created by is required. Oh, so we have an issue here. There was an error. Okay, so if there's an error, is that one of our errors? There was an error? Under the post? I think there was. Yeah, there was an error. Cool. This is where it needs to fail. And what is it expecting? I guess we could just do a generic. Let's do that, let's do that, and let's do res.status 400.json error There we go. And then the final one is that. Cool. And then let's update that. And then let's try the issue again. We get a 400, which is the error that I had, which is not, it's not an issue, but it said will fail. Posting data without required fields will fail. Wait, do we have one of the requirements? Doesn't say anything. How does it expect me to fail it though? Because we do fail it. We do res.status 400. Maybe we should just do a send. I'm just trying to figure out how it wants us to handle the failure. Maybe that'll be part of the functional test. Let's move on and we'll come back to that. I can post data with the optional fields. Yes, we can. I can, let me just clear this so we know that we're moving forward. I can get API issues project name for an array of all issues on that specific project with the information for each issue as was returned when posted. So on a get. For that we can do on the get portion. We just need a change house, I guess. We need queries now that I remember. So query equal to request.query. It is request.query, isn't it? Yeah. And then you have params and then you have project. And then I want to log query and see what it does when we try to do a get. So the query is empty. Huh. All it wants is an array of them, and what we're doing is issue.find project. So based on the project, find every project. And then we are just removing the project from it. Maybe that's the issue. the stuff we were removing. And then we were responding with where's the status.json docs, which is the entire response. Maybe let's omit this, the optional stuff. That could technically be what's wrong and why it's causing us to fail. Because I don't think it should be query. We don't need query. Let's try that out. Because there's the response. We get an array. Do you see that? We have so many. So I wonder why it's having an issue with it then. It's an array. What was the requirement again? The requirement was an array of all issues on that specific project with all the information for each issue as was returned when posted. And from what I can tell, that is everything. Assigned to, open, true, status text, ID, project FCC test. So we have everything there. I wonder if it's because the other stuff is... It might be testing the contents of it. I might have to delete... I feel like just dropping the entire issues database. There's so many of them. I think I'm gonna do that. So let's delete issues. And then we're gonna recreate issues. Issues, there we go. Because it might just be the fact that it was trying to compare the previous values and those values weren't correct at that time. So let's go ahead and go back one. And then let's go forward. There you go. Yeah, that was the issue. I can get API for an array of all issues. Okay, cool. Let's do it again. No. Go here, then go next. Okay, so the issue that we have now, I can put, that's not an issue. We now putting data without field set will fail. I don't think we're done with that. I specifically wrote a little note here for put. What was here? Resolve if no fields are sent for an update. Yeah. It wants ID, could not update, and then the ID. I think I know what we need to check for. If error, we can call next with the error, right? And then we need to pass in request response next. We'll call next with error, and then if doc else, there, if doc successfully updated, else return res status 44.send could not update ID. Okay, let's start this over again. Make sure we pass the tests. Okay, I will prevent cross-site. Yep, I can post. Why is that one failing now? We literally solved it. Or did we? Okay, but move on. I can post data. Yes, I can get API issues for an array. Yes, we get that. I can put API issues. Yep, we get that. Putting data without field set will fail. Did I update this even? So what's the doc? The requirement is putting data without fields set will fail. What was its parameters? It basically just gave it an ID. This was the issue we needed to solve. Okay, I've got an idea. So we make an issue from request.body. Let's call it updates equal to request.body, right? And then what if we delete the key on the ID? Because the issue is going to be the ID. We don't want the initial ID, and then we could check the length of it. So if I delete updates dot, because it's going to be underscore ID, right? Or I can just do updates.id, right? Delete updates.id, then create the issue from updates. Hey King Code, how are you? Using Express? Yeah, this is part of it for the API. And then what we can do is we can check the amount of keys. Because I needed to... Wait. Yeah, this is the put. We needed the no update field sent. Then what we want to do is if object.keys and then specify updates, check its length is less than is less than 1, right? Wait, where's our if? There it is. Dot length less than 1. Return res.status 400, no updated field sent. Because then we know, okay, we removed updates.id from updates. So let's log updates before, updates, and then let's log, I want to basically know what updates after is to make sure that I did that. Updates after, cool, there you go. And then let's update that, and let's run this command again. See if it'll let us pass. We've still got a 200 though. So updates before was ID, updates after was, oh, because it's store underscore ID. It's not ID itself. Why? Oh, because we're getting it from request.body, that's why. So updates._ID. And then we're trying to find an issue by an ID. Is that the only place we use ID? Yeah. Okay, let's try this. There you go, updates before, updates after was blank. Okay, so we successfully deleted, but it seems we got a 400 now, there you go. No updated field sent. Isn't that what we're supposed to send? I'm pretty sure that's what we're supposed to send. But we get a 400 on that, and it's unhappy. Putting data without field set will fail. That did fail. No? How does it expect us to fail? And then the other thing is issue.updated_on equal to date.now, because that was updated then. That's input. Yeah, it is input. So there we're deleting the ID. Oops. If object.keys.updates.length is less than 1, return, we do. So that should have been fine. Strange. I don't get that logic. Putting data without field set will fail. It does fail. 400. No updated field sent. Is it because of the status code that it doesn't like it? Should I just do res.send? Is that why? Don't tell me it's because of the status code. I mean, we've had stupid things fail us before. Wait, why are we still getting a 400? Oh, right. Wrong one. Try again. Wow, it really was. It can't handle the fact that there was an error code in there, a status code. Really? That's why we failed? This is why I knew. Okay, not even gonna worry about that. No updated field sent. Personally, that should be a failure. That's why I had a 400 in there. But according to the tests, no. Anyway, got it done. Next issue that we're failing, I can get with queries to filter the return data including the ID. This will also test the put update was actually successful. So we want, what was the parameters? ID. The only query string was an ID. I can get with queries. Did we not filter queries? Is that why? The query... Wait, did we always have a query string before when we posted? I want to test something. There's the post, right? We had a form data before. Now it's a query string. Okay, so there actually will be a query this time. So under get, let's bring the query back and just test something real quick, because then I think we just return that. Okay, there you go. There's a query. So we need to somehow combine the fact if there's a query or if there's no query. What if we want to filter by project and by... Okay, we need to somehow add the query in. We need to be searching by query, not project. Wait, if query is gonna be... Hold on. Can I do this? Can I do query.project so that there's a project key, right? Equal to the project that we have. So when I log query, it will have ID and project? Can I do that? Let's check. Oh, I actually can! Sweet! Okay, so then we do it like that, and then all we do is search by query instead of project. Right? And query is already an object now, so I don't think we search by that object, we search literally just by query. Issues is defined. Yo, why did I actually do it this way? Why did I have it as a const? I think I was trying to do something else before. There you go. Okay, let's see if that makes a difference. Do we now pass this? No? Why? I can get with queries to filter the return data. That should have been fine, no? Let's just check our return values. If error, maybe we should just return next error like we did before. request res next, right? So if error, we call next with the error, right? We don't return anything. Otherwise, we return don't tell me it's the status thing. Maybe just have an if. If docs return res.status200.json docs. See if that makes a difference. We get a 304 because it's cached. Can I just reload this? Might just be a cached response now. Why is that a 400 now? I don't get that. Like it was just working. What? How does it? And that's what I was trying to do. FCC test ID equal to... Why did it give ID as undefined now? What is going on? Is this broken now? The FCC tester? Because now it was giving an ID as broken. Oh no. Bad request. Internal server error 500. What the hell? Why are we getting an internal server error? Oh, we are. There you go. Cast to object ID failed for value undefined at path underscore undefined for model issue. Although the other thing I'm seeing is, why is it giving ID of undefined now? That's the other issue. Like, why is it undefined? Let's see if the tester passes it. They also get an internal server error of 500. Okay, there's something wrong with the tester now. Why? Did the tester just break? Because now it's sending ID of undefined. Let's see the other tester that we have. Oh dear. If it's not one thing that breaks, now it's another one. Is there a query one though? I don't see one. Timestamp. No, these are the old projects. There was another one. Someone gave us a link. Test. It was something. Can't remember. It was a cheap price or like it was something price. Pricey hugger. I think it was that one. Issue tracker. Here we go. Error bad request. 400. I think it might just be that we're sending a 400 status. I can post data, cool. I can get, cool. I can put API issues project with the ID and any fields in the object with the value to object set object. Okay, that might just be status again. I can get with queries. Okay, there's ID this time, so this one's fine. (11.6EF), right? And what it's searching for EC. Okay, this is interesting. Here's the interesting part. 5D ends in EF, and they're trying to find EC. But they didn't create EC. Why are they working on EC? That's my question. Could that be what the issue is right now? There's F2. Oh, there you go. So it gets a response. But what's the issue? I can get with queries to filter the return data, including the ID. This also tests the put update was actually successful. I mean, it seems to be fine because it returns value, doesn't it? The query string is there. And we got a project based on that. So why is that failing? Let's try something quickly. Let's copy the URL. And let's see what we get. We get a response like this. I don't get that. It works just fine. I wonder why it said could not update. Do we have EF though? Let me go check. Yeah, we have EF. Okay, so let's check our put. Our put is as long as you got an ID, and the error that we're getting is the response is could not update. The only time could not update will trigger is when let's see what the doc is. The reason why it can't update. Oh, there you go. Performing an update on the path ID would modify the immutable field. Okay, so we're trying to update the ID path. Why? So we deleted updates.id, yeah. And then new issue from updates. Let me just figure out if issue has ID. The issue schema doesn't have an ID. Okay, so that shouldn't be the cause of it. So issue.find by ID and update. The ID, the issue. So the only thing that I can think of, there's the request, right? The issue is going to be issue, right? Let's test that and see. Well, at least we're getting somewhere now. Okay, we're ready. I think it was this one. So we get a 404 then. Let's try to figure out why. There's the issue. Assigned to open false status. Where did I get ID from? That's what I want to know. If we deleted ID and the doc is undefined, that makes sense. It's almost like it's not deleting the ID. So let's see what updates are. The updates, right? Okay, so the updates are open false assigned to updated. The issue, where does it get ID from? Okay. That's the issue schema, right? Project, issue title, issue text, created on, updated on, created by, assigned to open set. There's no ID here. Unless the ID is created on the model, could that be it? It's the only thing I could think of. It gets automatically added. Yeah, because it's on the issue, right? The issue, there's ID, yeah, so let's delete. Delete issue dot underscore ID. And then let's see if it still has the same error. No, it's still there. So I think it's because we're creating a new issue. Damn. Okay, how about we try this? Instead of making a new issue, how about we just do... We have updates, right? We don't have issue. We just do updates dot updated on, and then the updates after, and then we just do it based on updates. There. How about that? Because I think when we create a new issue, it automatically creates an ID to go with it as well. Okay, well there you go, we passed that. And let's see what happened. The updates after, updated on. Cool. Check the updated on, it ends in 512, updated on 512. There you go, that worked. Then we got a deprecation warning, find one and update, or find one and delete without the use, find and modify options set to false are deprecated. Okay. What other issues do we get that we can solve? Server discovery and monitoring engine is deprecated. Okay, so let's do... There. Now it should stop complaining. And then we also want to figure out how to stop this. Is that node? Is that mongoose? Okay, so we want use unified topology set to true. Cool. That should solve those issues. So now, if we try that again, we shouldn't get an error. There you go. Cool. Great. Great stuff. Okay, that passes now as well. I can delete API issues project name with the ID to completely delete an issue. Cool. Now we just have to fix the other issues, such as, why does that fail? Posting data without required fields will fail. And I think it's to do with the fact that we're sending a 400 request back. Which is annoying, I know, but... I don't know if it wants a JSON object format, so we're going to play around. We might just do a send, like a normal send. Let's just see if it was the status first. Oh, I meant just res.json. There you go. Let's try that. Okay, it's not the res.json. So then let's see if it's just res.send. Res.send, and then we're just gonna have it as a string. See if it will like that. Okay, so that's not the issue. We gotta reread what the requirement is. It's a put request, I think, right? Wait, what were we busy on now? This is under post. And the issue is posting data without required fields will fail. Shouldn't that happen before though? Before anything else? And wouldn't there be an error? There would be, yeah. Catch error. Have next here, and then if error, oh actually we don't need a call next, do we? I think it doesn't say anything specifically, does it? Let's test something. If I do add next to this route, right? And then we just catch the error and then return call next with the error. Will that allow it to pass? No. We got a 5 under internal server error. Validation failed. Created by is required. But it does fail, but it doesn't say why. Posting data without required fields will fail. Maybe that's part of the functional test. I think we should get into the functional test and then come back to this. I'm gonna revert it back to what it was. Let's move on to the next issue that we had. It was this one. Oh no, that is fine. And that's fine as well. Okay, cool, we passed them. Let's just, yeah, let's do the functional test and then we'll come back to this. Do we have any functional tests yet? We have... Is it this one? FCC testing? I don't think we want to touch these, do we? No. Close that. Test runner, do not edit this file. Okay, we're not going to edit that. Do not edit this file either. Okay. It has to be FCC testing that we edit then. Oh no, never mind. Tests. Here you go. The requirements are... All 11 functional tests are completed and passing. There's unit tests and functional tests, so... None required. Okay, never mind. So it's only functional tests. Cool. Let's do it. Fill me in. Oh, so here we can see the requirements. Assert that equal res.status 200. Title, text, chai and mocha, status text in QA. Okay. Every field filled in. Assert equal res.status 200 on a post, right? So let's see what our post does. It return a 200? It should return res.status 200.json, the response. Cool. I wonder what it means by fill me in too, though. Like, it doesn't specify what. What do you want us to fill in? I assume it wants us to check everything without telling us that we should be checking everything. So let's first assume we're gonna need assert.property to check if it exists on res.body. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this. Properties equal to what are the properties quickly? ID. We know that there needs to be ID, right? So ID, then we know that there has to be issue title, Then we know that there has to be issue text. What else? Created by. Assigned to. Status text. Let's get the right order that I want them to be in. Created on, updated on, open. Created on, updated on, and open, right? And this is the bunch of them. So issue title, issue text, created by, assigned to, and status text, yeah. And then the optional stuff, created on, updated on, and open. And then we want to do something like properties dot for each. This is the property. And then we want to do assert dot equal. We also want index. So assert dot equal. No, sorry, assert dot property. Res dot body. So res dot body needs to have this property at this index, because then property is going to be ID. Wait, hold on. Wait, and that's property. Assert that res.body has. No, it just has property. We don't need index. That's all. So we're looping through all of that and making sure they exist. So that should be that, right? And then let's do this quickly. Be test. What was the env that it needed to be called? Okay, so let's bring the tests out here. Functional tests. If we pass. Every field filled in. Every field was filled in. And we can check that that's true by saying issue to, and this should cause it to fail. There you go. Perfect. So it was working. And then we need to make sure that every status is fine as well. Well, not the status. We need to also make sure that what the requirements are. So if those are the properties, values equal to an array, the first one needs to be 200, right? We expect the status to be 200. Although, can we still do this in a for each loop? Can we? If it changes, res.body, we could do it for the next one actually. So this one should be title. The title should be title. And then the next thing is the text. Should be text. Then we need created by. Is that created by? Yes, it is. Then we need assigned to equal chai and mocha. We also need status text to be in QA, like so. Yeah, that should be it. Okay, so status text. What about created on? We can't really test that, can we? We won't know when. The only thing then that's left is... Will we know when it was created on though? Without like doing some complex things, probably not. And we need the last one, the open, to be true. Those are all the properties. Should we just do keys as an array, and then we do everything except the keys that we don't want? So no ID, title, text, created by, assigned to status text, and then open to true. And then we can do keys for each key. Wonder if we need the index. Probably. Then what you want to do is something similar to this. Assert.equal res.body key. So it will be res.body.issue_title, and then the value needs to be values index. So then you're saying res.body issue title equal to title. That should be it. If we didn't mess something up. Let's see how it passes the test. If we get 2 tick marks, then we're good. Interesting. So we don't pass the first one, nor the second one. Properties.forEach property should have been fine, no? Assert.property res.body property. So we're saying, hey, make sure all of these exist, which they should have. That's weird. Because it was just passing it previously. Why you do this? Let me comment these out and see if maybe that was part of the cause, which would make sense because they're not conflicting. Oh, there you go. Every field filled. Weird, right? So that's all fine. Properties for each. Assert equal res.status to 200, right? So it has to be something in here. It's probably this res.body as key. Let me just check ES6. The key res.body key. Let's just console log this out to make sure that it's the keys that we need and not something else completely. Ah, there you go. So we have title. Where does it get title from? That's the interesting part. It seems to be the wrong one almost. Hold on. I'm doing keys for each. There's issue title, right? So we should have got an issue title. So if I do keys for each, the key is res.body. Oh. You know what we're doing? I'm getting the value of it, aren't I? Res.body key is giving me the actual value. Title, text, it's giving me the value. It's not, I need, oh, and that's so, because I need to do res.body.x, x being, I don't need the value of res.body.key. I need to basically make a string let's try something else. Res.body dot if I do res.body, can I do key? Oh no, but that's the same thing. I need the index. Okay, what if I do keys, right? At this index. I know it's getting like super complex now. Still the exact same thing. It was just another way of doing it. Because I want to loop through all of these. But I need to tell it comes from res.body. So like, hey, res.body.issueTitle needs to equal that. What if we do this? Right? So we do something like this. Test equal to, we're going to build a string. It's going to be res.body dot key, the key, right? So let's log test, and test should hopefully be, let's say something like res.body.issueTitle, for example. Object.open, object.status text. Yeah, okay, so we're getting somewhere, but now it's an object. I think it's because it should be res.body, just res.body, and then key, and then that will give us the key that we need. So now we should see res.body, ID, issue title, etc, etc. There you go, res.body.status text, res.body.open, res.body.created by, perfect. So now that we know what that is, that's going to be the key, right? But we don't want to change that. don't want to reuse that. But essentially what we need to do... Well, can't we do this? Can we do that? Asserted equal res.body.key equals values at that index. There. Provided that the test suite supports that. No, it doesn't seem to be able to support that. So then... assert key equal to that, right? And then let us do it based on assert key, which is res.body.whatever, equals values at that index. Let's try that. No. Why you do this? There's assert key. Let's do assert value. Assert value, which should be values index. That should be giving us what we need. Let's make sure the key pair values are still the same. Okay, so the issue? Text. Wait, no, it's not called that. We need the assert key pair values. We're not even getting in there. Hold on. Oh yeah, there you go. Assert key res.body.issue title. Assert value title. It should be res.body.issue title. Because issue title does exist. And the value should be title. But why does it only do it once and then it stops? You'd think it would do it for each one. It just stopped. Wait, what? Yeah, it just stops after one. Why? Keys for each assert key res.body based on the current key, right? Assert.equal assert key values index. That makes no sense. It should have been looping like several times, but it didn't loop. Yay. Let me just double check this. Request a body.issue title. This is so funny. Like, we only see it once. What is going on? Why does it stop after one? Keys for each. What is the length of keys? It's an array, and it should have looped through all of these. This is really fascinating. Let's log keys length keys dot length, right? And then I also want to have it log the index. Index count, index. Because that should coincide with the index length incrementing. Keys length is 6, look at that. Yet we start at index count 0 and that's it, we never continue. Wait, is the done? Where's the done? It is outside of it. What is going on? Why does it stop at... The keys length is 6, yet it stops one time. Is it because it's failing due to it being a const? Let's test something. That's never been an issue before. This thing's gonna make me question. It must be something to do with the tests itself, like it has a max runtime limit or something. Because we can see that keys length is 6. We see it starts at 0. And then that's it, it doesn't continue after that. Okay, let me remove the assert equal. And let's see if that's preventing it from looping. Yeah, it was. It was that. I don't know why, but it was that. The moment I remove assert equal, there you go. Index count 0, it's title. And assert value is title. Index 1 is text, value should be text. Index 2 is created by, etc, etc. Okay. So the moment I have assert equal... But that was never an issue for assert property. So assert equal, the key, should be equal to values index. Maybe it doesn't like how I'm doing it. So let's do const assert value equal to values index, right? Maybe it can't handle that or something. I don't know. Some crazy stuff. Okay, there you go. So then all it has to do is check based on assert value. See if it will handle that. Maybe assert can't do calculations and it needs the given value to have been set. Yeah, there you go. Wait, did it? I thought it did. No, it didn't. It's the same issue. It has to be something with assert then. Because without assert equal being there, it loops fine. There's assert key, there's assert value. It does it correctly for the first loop. But after that it's like, nope, I can't do this. Assert equal that the assert key is the same as, yeah, and let's just make sure equal is actual and expected. Asserts non-strict equality. Wait, what? Hold on. Type. Wait, are we sure that's supposed to be assert.property? I mean, it worked fine for... Where's that status being 200? Mm-hmm. Hmm. This is what I get for trying to simplify things, huh? Because I could manually write this out. Assert equal works fine. Well, assert property worked fine. Res.body, the property that we're running the loop through. But trying to assert equal the key with the value doesn't work. And you would think this would be fine, but no. Res.body. The key, that's the assert key, the value. So these two are perfectly fine, but assert equal just doesn't want to work with them. It's almost like it calls done or something. I can't quite figure out why. It just stops after the very first try. It's just like, I'm done. And we don't even get any errors, which is the annoying part. I can't even figure out why. Could it be an async issue? It shouldn't be. Because the key's length, it realizes it's 6. It does one loop, and then it... Wait. No, for each should have looped through every key. And it didn't. Oh my god, am I gonna really have to do this one by one? Don't tell me I have to do this one by one. Okay, let's do it one up. If I can't do this, right? If we can't do it this way, we're gonna at least do it this way. So assert equal keys 0 needs to equal to values 0, right? Because they're 1 for 1. Let's see if that passes. It doesn't. What the fuck? It's almost like it manually wants me to fill it in. It can't take the value from the array. Meaning that's why I wouldn't be able to take the value from the variable. Okay, we just learned something now. This is chai, right? Chai assert from variable, because it's not taking the value from the variable. Too complex. Let's check the assertion styles. Because all of these are manually specified. Like you'll put a string in and then expect it to be that value. But what if I want to use a variable? I'm not seeing anything. But I think that's... That's a cheat sheet, but we don't need that. Okay, so that doesn't work either. RIP. Because it's probably literally looking for key 0. Did I look at assert equal though? Format. I don't think that answers it either. Why can't I use variables though? Like I literally see no examples using variables. Why is that not a thing? There should be a thing for that, no? Why does everything assume that you're just gonna use a string to test? This is like the most annoying thing right now because I'm wasting so much time on it. Oh, but that works? How? Assert equal array.length to be 0. So that's fine. Actually, that makes no sense because clearly it can work with variables. Res.status being a variable. A property in this case. And the value. So then why can't I do key 0? What is key 0? Should be issue title. Oh. Because there is no issue title. That's why. It's res.status. And then keys 0. But I think we're going to run into the same issue again, because now it's going to get the value of that. So the only way to get around this would be doing this. res.status.issueTitle equal to values 0. And see if this passes. If that passes, we just have to do it that way. I'm not going to waste time on functional tests to use variables if I can just, get them working. Okay, so that's not the case either. And the moment I do that, for some reason, it fails the every field filled in part. I don't know how it does that, it just does. Check. So if I undo that, we'll pass the every field filled in. It's so finicky how they set these tests up. There you go, that passes. Let's see if we can do a simple res.status.issueTitle. Instead of value 0, let's see if it's title. Let's just do it this way. See if that passes. Wow, it's not that. Okay. Can I see what this is? The status? That should be title. And it should compare title to title. Come on. It doesn't get there. There you go. The status is undefined. Okay. Because there's no body! It's... Wait, have I been doing status this whole time? Don't tell me I've been doing status. Okay, no, it's been res.body. Okay, cool. There. Go, 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 go. There. The status is still undefined though. Right? Oh, that's because res.body issue title. Okay, we're getting somewhere. There, the status is title. So basically it's saying is title equal to title. So res.body.issue title is trying to get the value. And it's saying is that value equal to that value. So in that case, can we do values 0? Can we still do that? Yes. Good. Finally. Okay. So that works. Now, how can we get it back to working our loop? Where's that body? Dot issue title worked before, right? And we had the values to be of that index. Value 0, values 1, etc. It never increased the value count. Try as we might. And a for loop should have worked, but it doesn't. Keys for each. You know what I just realized? With all this mess that's been happening, we were trying to make a key, right? When literally all we were supposed to be doing is doing res.body, the key. We needed to get that value, because we're comparing the one value to the next value. All that needs to change is assert value. We're comparing values here. I thought we needed to pass in the key. It's not. We need to pass in the key's value, that's value 1, and compare it to the value. Which in essence, we could probably just do values index like that. And see if that will work. It was a misunderstanding on my part. There you go. It does the iteration 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is great. The only issue now is that there's obviously an error. We just got to figure out why. And we can do that with a simple console log. The values. We want res.body.key, right? Versus values on index. And those should match up. So title is title, good. Text is text. That's fine, that's fine. That's fine and that's fine. And true is true. So how does it fail? If all of them pass? Why you do this? Why do you hate us? Because that's working. So I don't get why it would fail. Title is title. Text is text. You know what we can do? Instead of the values, let's have a match here and do res.body key equal to values index. Let's see if they match. Okay. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Ah, the Boolean. But of comparing true to true. And there we go. That's where the issue lies. But would true not equal true? Oh, it's as a string, that's why. But hold on. Would true not equal true? True would be true, no? Yeah. So would true not equal to true? It would. So I think what the issue is, it's coming out as a boolean, true, comparing to a string, true. That's why. I think we also messed up. Because this should be a boolean true. That's our fault this whole time. Oh my god. Yes! Finally! We did it! After all this time. Wow, that took long enough. There we go. That works. Second part is required fields filled in. We need to make sure all the fields that are required are filled in. Wonder if I can't just have these be... Because if we're gonna use them the same... These can be a global scope, or just a higher scope. Right. And then these can be local scope values. Because then required fields fold in. We're going to need to do the same. Something like that. Title: The Second Coming. Are we not going to have assigned to or status text? And these are the values. The title needs to coincide with this. Oops. These can be optional. And then properties for each. Wait, do we still need to ensure every property exists? Yeah, we do. And then we need to make sure that the status is 200 and that every key equals the values. Maybe this should be more local scoped. Oh no, it could be there, where it is. Let's see if that works. Every field filled in, correct. Required fields filled in, correct. Now we need missing required fields. Actually, this could just be title, can't it? And nothing else. Actually, we don't need values in this either. And we don't have to check the properties. We have to just make sure that we get a status back. If you try to post to test, and you're missing all the required fields, I don't think we have that. That's why we were failing before as well. Go here. Posting data without required fields will fail. Yeah, but how do we know if it fails? What is it testing for? That's the problem. We don't know what it's testing for. Oh, missing inputs. Please ensure all required fields are filled in to equal missing inputs. Okay, so it's basically telling me, hey, your response should be saying missing inputs. Okay, I didn't see that part. It was literally that simple. There you go. Okay, so that where it says missing inputs, we need to now ensure that our functional tests assert.equal res.text is equal to missing inputs. That's all we need. And then we call done. That should be it. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. And then no body. I'm assuming when you have no data filled in? If no fields are sent, return no updated field sent. But what about the ID? How will we know what the ID is? Because we need to get what the ID is. Because you need to pass an ID in. Guess we're gonna need global variable const ID1 maybe? ID2. How many are we gonna need? Or can we just use the one? So that means that the two different requests every field versus required fields, I guess. So before we call done, we should update ID1 to equal request.body.id. Wait, something's wrong. What's wrong? What do you mean unexpected token? What the hell? Why can't I define a variable now? What? Since when is this an issue? Unexpected token, why would that be an unexpected token? What the fuck? Okay, something like really weird is going on now. I don't know if it's a linter issue? So I could do assignment and it's fine. But if I just declare it, it's an issue. How the hell does that work? I think it's because I'm using const instead of let and you can't reuse them, that's why. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to change it later on. So ID1 equal to request. Wait, is request not in here? Oh, it's part of res. Res.body.id. And then for the second one, before done, we'll do res.body.id for id2. There we go. So now when we do nobody, I guess it will be based on passing an ID only. So let's copy this stuff. Let's send ID as ID1. No? ID1 is not defined. This is a different suit now. Okay, let's do this then. And then we expect what happens if you have no ID for an update. So put if there's no ID, it should say ID error. That's what it said, right? Where's ID error? There. If no ID sent, return ID error. And does that exist in their tests? So 404, so then let's just make sure that we return 404 and the value is ID error. There. Make sure that's passing. So we should get up to nobody. Apparently not. So apparently the validation error kicked in first, as in the required fields. So we try to post to test, sending only ID. And before anything even happened. It should have returned res to status 404, send ID error. Missing required fields work just fine. There's the body. The issue is undefined. Created is undefined. So that's under the issue, but the issue only appears wait, where's the issue shown? There. Under a post request. Because it shouldn't be a post. It should be a put, shouldn't it? Are we posting? That's my bad, isn't it? Yeah, it is. We're supposed to put, not post. There you go. Yeah. That's what happens when you copy paste. Okay. The put still fails. Let's see what the response is. The response is... Aren't we supposed to check the text on it? We're supposed to check the res.status to be a 404 and the res.text to be ID error. Let's see what the res text is. So close to antics. Oh. Okay, the request text is no updated field sent. And that's what we're checking on. So why did nobody... Why did it fail? And we did call done. Yeah, we did. Oh, we're checking for the freaking wrong one. It's not supposed to be ID error. It's supposed to be no updated field send. What am I doing? If you send no body, it's supposed to be no updated field send. What am I doing? There's nobody, but it still doesn't pass. What the fuck? Let's see, okay? Res status, res.status, right? And let's see if red status pass. Res.status equal to 404, right? And then let's see if res text is res text pass, which is res.text equal to there. Run this, please, before I lose my mind. Okay, so let's see what happens now. So res status is 200. But res status pass is false. What the hell? Res text? No. Oh, it's a number to a string again, isn't it? Wait, what? Res status is 200. Where the hell did I get a 200 from? Oh. Okay, by default it's a 200, right? 200 dot send, okay. Let me change the API. Man, the amount of time we're spending on this stuff now. So it needs to be a 200. And we don't need these console logs because we figured out why it was failing. And there we go, nobody works. One field to update. Should pass fine. We'll just do it based on test ID and change it. What should we change? What did test ID 1 do? It changed text. So let's change issue text maybe. Let's change it to updated text. What's wrong now? Unexpected token. Did I mess up? Probably did. Wait, but how did I mess up? Did I mess up? Issue text to be updated text, right? Okay, there we go. Cool, then we just need to make sure that it says 200 and I think it was successfully updated. That should go through without any issues. Hey Benjamin, how are you doing? Yeah, there you go. One field to update passed. Then we just need multiple fields. We can do it based on the previous one. So essentially it will be a copy of this one. And we'll just use ID2 and we'll say we can change, maybe we could change status text. So status text to be issue resolved and open set it to false. And then it should be exactly the same, status 200 successfully updated. We also need ID, don't we? ID should never change. ID based on ID2. Cool, let's go. And then let me check the database while it's busy. Go right to the end of the database. Jeez, there's so many right now. There you go, issue resolved. And status open false. So if we go to what path is it trying to access? API issues test. We should be able to do / API issues test. There you go, there's all the issues. A lot of issues. 61, jeez. Okay, the final one is get array of objects with issued data. Isn't it already doing that though? No filter is fine. Oh, okay, I see. So it's already done that for us. I don't think we need to do anything. We need one filter. Let's copy this again. And then what's our filter going to be in query? Do it based on ID. ID. ID1. And it should still have all the properties. Multiple. Test for multiple fields you know will be in the database for a return. Okay. Simple as well. We're gonna do it based on ID2. And what was the other one that we did? We said issue resolved for status text. So status text has to be issue resolved. And we can even set open to false. And then we need to find a 200 response with all of these things. And then finally, delete. If there's no ID, probably also delete the other thing that it does at the end. Chai request server. Okay, let's just start somewhere. If there's no ID, this, wait. Request server dot delete API issues test. No query. So we're just gonna have end error response. And what happens if you delete and there's no ID? 400 ID error. Res.text. Wait. Assert.equal res.text will be ID error. That's all. And then call done. When there's no ID and you try to do request delete 400 ID error. Cool. See what happens. Cool, no ID works. And now, if it's a valid ID and you're actually deleting something, same as above. But we should probably add .send ID. Should we delete ID 1? And it should be a 200, I think. What happens if you delete? We get a 200 deleted ID. Is it res.send? Yeah. It should just say deleted ID1. Done. See if that works. You can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Valid is fine. Wait, what? Valid. Oh wait. No ID. And then valid ID. There we go. 11 passing. Woohoo! We passed all the tests. You know what I just realized? We should probably delete the other thing as well, because otherwise we're gonna have like, every time that runs a test we're gonna have like an infinite amount of them. So here it deletes 1, maybe we should delete 2. Delete the other. We can just do chai.request server .delete .send ID 2 this time. And we don't need an end or anything. There we go, so we shouldn't have extra database entries then. So let me delete everything from the database now. Let me like just drop this thing on its head. Issues, delete all of them. Drop them all. Boom. Okay. new database issues. Then what we're gonna do is update this. What should happen now is that it should create them briefly, right? So we should have something in issues, but then afterwards we should have nothing. There you go, 11 tests pass, and we still have one issue in here. I don't know if this is like delayed. Wait, and still have one. That's weird. Because it should have deleted it. Chai.request server, delete, ID1, delete, ID2. How many did we create? Because that's the updated one that I'm looking at now. This is the one that says issue resolved, and I closed it. And that happened here for ID2. I think it's because of the done. Yeah, it's because of the done. It never got to this part. That's why. That should resolve that issue, because when done gets called, nothing else happens. Let's make sure. Wait, there's some issue. Done is not defined. Hold on, hold on, hold on. There you go. That's why. Okay, so what we're doing here is chai.requestServer.delete send ID ID2, right? Done. So that deletes ID2. Then chai.requestServer.delete send ID1 end, and then call done. And this is part of that suite. Delete, and then this is part of the overall suite functional tests. Just double checking the database real quick. It doesn't want to delete the second one, which is weird. Every time it does that. I mean, we're passing the test, it's not an issue, it just doesn't want to delete this. Chai.requestServer.delete API issues test. Passing an ID. Wait, what do we get from here when we try to delete? Well, that's very strange that doesn't do that. Chai.requestServer.delete API issues test. .send ID. And ID2 is definitely there. Yeah, it is. But why is it not deleting it? Ah, dear. Chai.requestServer.delete API issues test. .send. The ID being ID2. It hates it. Absolutely despises it. Very strange. Oh well. We passed all the tests. So the final thing for us to do is going to be drop it on its head. The issues table. I'm gonna recreate it. That means we start from fresh. And then what we're gonna do is run through all of the actual tests on the tester. So the one that we've been using, the pricey hugger. And what I want to do is remove all of the logs. I think it's Control. Wait, was it Control Shift L to add a log? Huh. I didn't realize that. Control Alt L, I think it was. Control Shift L. Control Alt L. There was a shortcut that I had to remove all logs. There was something for logs. Remove log all. Control Shift. It wasn't B. Control Shift. It wasn't Control Alt. I want to remove all these logs. It's not Control Shift L. Control Alt L, no. Huh. I had a way to remove them. There, delete all console logs. Control Shift D. There we go. Okay, there should be no console logs now. Let's try that now. And then what we're gonna do is use the backend tester for the issue tracker, and then make sure we pass all of these one by one. Pass, 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 pass? We pass all of these. Great stuff. And then let's see the functional tests. Yeah, that failed, but that's weird, because ours are fine. Look, state passed. Passed, 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 passed. Passed, 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 passed. They're all passed. So what is this thing like? Is it just being full of shit or something? I think I was looking for a very specific one. That one passes, that one passes, that one passes as well. It's very strange. It's just the one that doesn't pass. Which one is that? Post API issues project. Object with issue data. State passed. Do you see that? Where's the status? 200. And that's for post API issues project. Let's just check quickly. Post API issues project. And which one? I wonder what it's looking for, because ours passes just perfectly. So it's not the missing, it's not the required fields, it's just what, oh, it's every field filled in. Wait? No, it's those three that are passed. I don't know what this thing is smoking, but we're passing all the tests. Assertion error. For test 1 and 2, there is at least 9 fields in the issue return object that should be tested to exist with property. Expected 1 to be above 8. What? For test 1 and 2, there is at least 9 fields in the issue return object that should be tested to exist with property. Oh, so is it complaining just because of the fact that we should be testing for test 1 and 2? Okay, let's see what test 1 and 2 is. I assume this is 1 and 2. So is it just we don't have enough properties that we're testing for? Well, I mean, we tested every property, so it can't be that. It should be tested to exist with property. Expected 1 to be above 8. We're only testing 1, according to this thing. It can't be this one. Assert.property. You know what I think it is? I think it's because we're using a for each loop, and I think they only were counting how many assert.properties are you using. In fact, I'm willing to bet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And the other one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Watch this. There you go, that was part of the reason. They didn't like the fact that we were smart and used a for each loop. So essentially we're getting penalized, not FreeCodeCamp, the people who created the optional testing. So what they were doing is they were manually counting how many assert.properties you were doing. So they expected you to do this: assert property res.body dot issue title, right, to equal title, like this. That's what they expected you to do for every single property. And we have 1, 2, 3, you can see how many there are. And I decided that, that's going to be pointless, having repetition. The whole point of, writing code is that you have as little repetition as possible and you reuse code where you can. So I was like, what if we loop through an array of properties and then we just check if that array value equals that property value? And that works because we pass all the functional tests that Free Code Campus set out, but we don't pass their test, and I'm not worried about that. We pass Free Code Campus tests, and I think that should be all that matters. Let's just make sure we check one more time. This should run now. Running tests. There you go, 11 tests passed. So we're done with this project. Whew. That was a bit intense. The only thing that I want to change now is the fact that some things are not going to work. When you try to post here, this test, my project, Bitmono, if I post this, I don't think that works. Because we changed so many things. We changed it for the API to work. Yeah. It doesn't work. So I have to just change the front end quick, but that's really all we need to do. So on index, actually it should have posted in JSON result, missing inputs. Axios.post JSON data. It should have apparently been a response. There it is, missing inputs. How's it missing inputs? If we have title, text, and created by, aren't those the only 3 required? Project, title, text, created by. So project is required, but that should have been processed in. So when you post, the project is already added from request.project. So what we can do is the body, request.body, and make sure that we actually have data. I think we don't. I don't think we have any data when we do that. So I'm just going to put random stuff in here just to trigger the server, and then the server is going to be like the body. Wait, what? We do. That's weird. Issue title, issue text, created by. And the project? Missing inputs. Why would it say missing inputs? The only time that it will say missing inputs is when you try to save the error. Let's see what the error is. Because apparently there is an error. We probably wanna do this again. And the error is issue text is required, created by is required. What? Okay, hold on. Now that we're passing the tests, we no longer need the environment to be in test mode. So let us do this from scratch and only have the logs that we require. So the body, there's the body. Issue title, issue text, created by. Then the validation is apparently that issue title, issue text is and created by is required, and yet we, oh, it's an object inside of an object. That's why the way we're sending it. So instead of data, Can we just send JSON data just by itself? Can we do that? Can I do that? Is that possible? Would you do me a great kindness? Under, wait, views, index. And let's try that again. So bam, bam, bam. Still missing inputs. Why? What is it now? Oh, now it's literally JSON data. Literally JSON data as a key. How do I make it not do that? Instead of an object, because it requires it to be body, right? Can I not just send JSON data? There you go. How about now? There you go. That worked. Beautiful. The body. Great stuff. Okay, so that works. And that's the ID, right? Now let's try delete the ID. If I delete it, what happens? Undefined. Why? Nothing happened. What happens when you click delete? I think I know what's happening. Instead of having an object, we need ID here. We don't need this. And I need to update this. Form reset, return false. Okay. And then if there's an error, catch that error. And be response.innerHTML error.response.data. Cool. Jeez, all this testing we did. Crazy. So I just need form and response, and then the axios.delete. How do we know what ID is? guess we can do this. Form data. JSON data, and then give it JSON data. Yeah. Whew. And then I need the ID, which is this. And then if I put the ID in here, ID error. Does that ID not exist? We do get an ID error at least, but let's see if that ID exists. I'm gonna refresh the page. Okay, we have an ID here, so let me put this in. It just likes to say ID error. Doesn't even get a response anymore. ID is request a body. If not ID, request a body. Okay, let's see what this is. So there's no ID in request body. That's the first issue. Test form 3. Form data, new form data from form, JSON data, response, axios.delete, giving it JSON data. Let's see what the JSON data is. Interesting. We're not getting any console logs. Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, there you go. ID. And the request body is still empty. But ID is definitely there. So the only thing I could think of is the way it's being submitted. Let's look at Axios delete. It might take things a bit differently. So it might be inside of data, according to this. Wasn't it data? It's expecting an entire JavaScript object. Okay, let's see what that does. Submit. Yeah. Then we get, oh, so there it is in the JSON body, JSON data. Only problem now, it's an object inside of an object again. But if I take that out like last time and just do that, and what happens now? Now it's empty. So the only way you get it, that's so strange that Axios does it that way. So it needs to be in data for it to be seen. And now it will be seen. And now the problem is it's gonna try to get it from request.body. Or request.body.data. So we do that. Now it will work on either or. Let's try that out. Oh, the only problem is it's inside of JSON data now, huh? Why don't I just do ID instead of JSON data? Can I do, because the response is inside of it. Try that. Request ID is test. Beautiful. And then the error that you're gonna get is could not delete test. Perfect. So we got it working in the end. And then all we need to do is make sure that we get ID. ID is, we need to make sure that the input ID equal to delete ID. Documents dot get element by ID. Well, let's just do query selector. like so. And then let's give it ID. And then let's update index.html, load this, and then finally let's give it an actual ID that exists. And it should... so previously it was fine, but now... Oh, right. We forgot to do dot value. Final change. There you go, request ID. And there you go, it said deleted. Finally. And can we update an issue? We should get an ID for this, right? There we go, we do. Let me go make sure that it actually exists. Yep, there we go. And then I want to update the ID, the title to no longer testing. And I want to close it. Successfully updated. Did it do that though? Let's go find out. No longer testing. Open is false. There you go. And the time changed as well. Perfect. Why is that working though? Test form 2. Oh, because we're using Ajax. So much easier. What a mess. Where do these undefined come from? Oh, okay, I know where they're undefined now. Because these need to be issue text, issue title, created by. So that whole thing that we were changing in the beginning, we're now undoing everything that we did. Status text. There. Wait, is that all? Is it? Yeah. Yeah, so we need to just update issue. And then we should be able to see this with all the values. There you go. How did we pass the created by though? Created by is required. And none of them have created by, it's not even in the database. Interesting. How did it do that? Created by yes. Did I somehow just miss that? it's working now. Weird. Let's reload this. Do we see yes? Yeah. Okay. Delete. Close it. Cool. It's working. And I should have 3 less items in my query results. Let's check. 1 of 8. How many do I have now? 1 of 5. Excellent. Done. Okay, we're officially finished with this project. We passed all the tests. The front end works. That was like the main thing. I just had to make sure the front end works. All I want to do is remove the console logs and remove the comments that we don't need. All these extra comments. And we can make this an arrow function as well. Okay, so that's cleaned for the API. And then I think the HTML has some comments. Some console logs. There we go. Yeah, the HTML is clean. And then I think issue had some. We'll leave those as previous parts. Cool. That's it. We're done. Let's pass that into our issue tracker as our solution. And then the next project that we're going to be working on, I'll probably like start it in a bit. I'll just have something to eat and I'll return, is the personal library. We need to build a full-stack JavaScript app that is functionally similar to this. Let me close the rest of these. What are we going to be building? Oh, right, okay. So, the book. And then we get an ID, I see. Based on the experience that we have so far, hopefully this goes quick. And then book ID to comment on. My comment. Submit. There it is. Another great comment. Cool. And then sample front end. Wait, oh wow. It's a really great comment, guys. Good job. What did I call my book? The book. I need to delete that book. That's not a very nice book you guys got there. Now we have to reload the page. There's the book. Great job. My comment, another great comment. Ah! So just clicking on it changes. And then delete all books. Do it. Did it actually do it? Oh my god, it did. I'm sorry everyone. Yeah, I'll submit the book with some data. Okay. This is where we're gonna continue on the next stream. So until then, I'll wait to continue. Bye for now.